This is SoundOff, Louisiana's premier television sports show. Coming to you from Sportsbook at L'Auberge Lake Charles. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
And a holly jolly, I might start singing. No, you don't want that. A holly jolly Merry Christmas to you folks. Coming to you from the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. Kevin Guidry, Rick Sarah.
Always
I'll
glad
leave the
to be
singing
here.
to you.
Definitely.
Scooter Hobbs off on the holiday week, so it's the A-team here.
Always.
We're hanging tough.
Always.
Merry
Always.
Christmas. All right, thanks for hanging with us. I know you could be busy wrapping gifts or putting up more Christmas lights. What else could you be doing?
Everything.
Popcorning the tree
Everything.
or something.
Just decorating, just making it a happy,
Thanks
festive
for
time of
having
year.
us in your home.
Always.
Or you could be watching that Home Alone movie for the 50th time.
Rick, you won't believe how many times I watched that movie, man. Wow.
I may have seen it once.
It's
That's all I need.
Rick, you got to watch this, man.
That's all I need. All right. Or you could be going into all those other Christmas movies.
There's so many of them, man.
Stacks of DVDs.
Little Red Wagon.
So
There's
hang
so
with
many,
us.
man.
Hang with us for the next 30
There's so
minutes.
many
We'll
of
have some fun with you. On tap, the impact of McNeese's arch rivalry nemesis win over UL Lafayette.
That was a big
We'll
win.
take a deeper dive into what this game will mean for the rest of the season, how it might even propel them even more.
Yeah.
Like they need help.
No.
That's coming up a little bit later on. The Saints have strung 2 in a row. We're going to get to that in just a little bit. No coaching staff changes announced at LSU and McNeese so far.
What are they waiting
I know
on?
that's a bugaboo
What
for
are they
you.
waiting on? What are they waiting
I
on?
know it's a bugaboo. Early
are they
signing
waiting on?
period, of course. Keep your eyes on that in regards to college early signing period in December and so much more.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin and I, later on in the show, we're going to debate an interesting college football concept being thrown out there.
Good and bad.
By UCLA Chip Kelly and Michigan Jim Harbaugh.
Yeah.
It's interesting doing away with all the conferences and going to super leagues.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. You hate it.
Yeah.
I'm reserving judgment on it. That's coming up later on in the show.
Yeah.
All right, let's get started with the Saints. They are playing on Thursday night.
They are.
They are playing. Game could very well be over. We don't know the results of the Saints and
game.
Rams out in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
A short week, cross-country
Rams are
trip
good.
to the look. If they're able to take this game away from a
The Rams are good, Rick.
streaking Rams team,
Yeah.
they have a little wiggle room to lose a game, and this one's it. Why? Because it's out of division.
Yeah.
The next two at Tampa
That's
and Atlanta,
division games. That's division games.
they got to win those.
They have
They
to.
need to win them all, really.
Yeah,
But,
but-
they got a little wiggle room if they fall to the Rams.
The Rams are good. Now, this
They're
is
very
the thing,
good.
Rick. If
Matthew
you go up,
Stafford
if you
is
go
just
up, if you go
coming
up to
along.
LA, Rick, and you don't play well, can you imagine what this does for you for your next 2 games?
Well, look, the Saints on what is
And-
it? Three different occasions over the year they have won 2 straight. The problem with this team is they're not very good, because if you're good, you win 4, 5, and 6 straight, right?
Yeah.
They win 2, lose 1. They won
And
2
look-
and they lose 2. They win 2 and they lose. They go on a 3-game losing streak. That's the problem.
But the importance of winning this game, Rick, is so important, because look what you do. You got to come back and play 2 conference games, Rick. Rick, you got to have a win. Rick, you have to, because you know what, Rick? You could stand to lose one of those 2 conference games, but you got to have that win.
Oh, you
got to
have the divisional game.
You got to have the but you got to have the win on the road too, because it does something to your team.
Because the South is so pitiful.
It does
the
something
Falcons,
to your team, though, Rick.
I can't believe this. Arthur Smith and the Falcons lost to Carolina.
Yeah.
How mind-boggling.
I don't know.
But they're kind of still mathematically in it, depending on what the Saints do. You got to watch out for Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
He's playing well.
I mean,
That's
really,
surprising to
he's
me,
lighting
man.
it up.
Baker's like, what? Baker doesn't care. Baker's just throwing it everywhere. He's throwing it across the field, man.
They're lighting it up. So, yeah, but, really, to really stay in this divisional race for the Saints, to win the division and play a home playoff game, you got to beat the Rams. It really, really helped to beat the Rams.
You
I don't
need
know if they
to
can
beat
do it.
somebody like them, because they're such a good team, Rick, and they're such a streaky team. So the Saints are going to have their hands full Thursday, Rick. They are. They're going to have their hands full Thursday, Rick.
Now, we don't know the Rams and the Saints. Then they'll have a long stretch, and they're going to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
That's conference game.
The Buccaneers, they only lost.
Are they going to Tampa?
Yes.
Ooh.
At Tampa. They've only, in the last 9 weeks, the Buccaneers lost to the best team in the NFL, which we discussed it a while back earlier in the week, the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah.
They only lost by 13.
That's crazy,
The
Rick.
49ers are blowing everybody out.
Rick, that's crazy.
They
by
lost to
13.
the 49ers by 13. Now, it was earlier in the year, and they lost to the Bills only by 6. This is the Buccaneers now. And they lost to a pretty solid Houston Texans team by 2. I was ragging on the Buccaneers earlier in the year, and Todd Bowles and.
So is this our first
they
one?
put together a
Is this our
solid
first one or
season.
second play in them?
Pardon?
Is this our first one or second game we playing them?
Second, they lost already. No, it's the second time they're playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So no, you got to beat the Bucs. You got to beat the Bucs. You got to get that edge on them. You got to level the playing field.
You got to beat the Bucs.
And then of course, then you got the Falcons to deal with.
It's going to be interesting, though, Rick. It is.
I'm getting a headache over this.
That's going to be interesting.
The
Rick.
bottom line is, because of what we said earlier, because the Saints haven't been able to put some equity in the bank, so to speak, by getting a 1.5 game lead, because they can't seem to win several games in a row.
It stays at a tie, Rick.
This is it. It's coming down to they're not going to get a wild card. You got to win the division.
Yeah, and the thing is this, Rick. When you play a team twice a year, don't you think you've got to get some kind of advantage to know what they do?
You think so, huh?
Honestly.
Yeah. All right.
Dennis
We asked
Allen.
this question last week. We teased it, but we never got to it. It's not our fault. We're going to blame it on Hobbs because he's not here to defend himself. The question, the reports are, solid reports out of Boston, that this could very well be Bill Belichick's last year with the New England Patriots. Robert Kraft has had enough.
The winningest coach? He's got to be the winningest coach. He's the winningest coach.
The greatest NFL coach of all time.
What makes Robert Kraft say it's time to let it go?
Well, they suck. They haven't done anything since Brady left. They're bad.
All
right, so
Rick.
You know where I'm going. If Gail Benson and Mickey Loomis have a shot at getting Bill Belichick, would you and you Saints fan take Bill Belichick as the Saints head coach?
Look, this is
you got about 10 seconds to give your opinion.
Is Bill Belichick made for New Orleans? That's what you've got to ask
Bill
yourself.
Belichick is only made for Bill Belichick. He's a legend, the greatest ever.
Look, Rick,
I don't want him.
Rick,
I don't want him.
Rick, I see, I mean, what else can you
Really?
do?
You take him?
Over what's there? Over what's there?
Oh, well, no. I mean, no.
Over what's there?
No, he's gone. I got to remind you, first off, we're going to shove Bill Belichick to the side, but remember about the Max Bar and Grill at the National Golf Club in Westlake. It's all shiny and bright this Christmas week at the Max, serving up great steaks and burgers and seafood. Delicious holiday gumbo, by the way. It's the holiday hustle. You know you're going to get worn out. Let the Max treat you to lunch or dinner or weekend brunch. It's all at the Max in Westlake.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at L'Auberge Lake Charles.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
What's bugging you?
Is it termites? The season is now and they are swarming. At J&J Exterminating, we offer some very effective weapons against infestation of your home or business. Let us take care of what's bugging you. Don't wait. Contact us now for a free inspection.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome back to SoundOff, coming to you from the Sportsbook at L'Auberge. SoundOff brought to you by Lundy Law, J&J Exterminating, and by L'Auberge Casino, of course. Speaking of L'Auberge, it's holiday week.
Yes,
Don't
it is.
forget about all the lineup of great restaurants at L'Auberge in Lake Charles. You start with Embers.
Everything is
hard
good,
to beat
Rick.
Embers. The ambiance
Everything
at Embers.
is good, man.
You got Drago's. The legendary Drago seafood restaurant is here. You got the legendary right now, because they made quick work, Johnny Sanchez. Asia for fine Chinese and Asian food.
I mean, they give you
and of course
everything.
the Sportsbook right here.
I love this.
Look, the hustle and bustle.
Lyle makes the best hamburgers in town.
Holidays, get on down here and have some dinner on L'Auberge. All right, coming up a little later on, imagine the college football landscape with no major conferences.
Can you
Nothing
believe that
in Power 5.
That can't happen.
It's
Rick.
just, I just want to
That
float
can't
that
happen.
idea out there. We'll throw it out.
That can't happen.
All right, let's
Rick.
revisit this fantastic, spectacular win McNeese had over UL
Wow.
Lafayette at a sold-out Legacy Center. Electric, the energy from the crowd. The players and coaches said, look, it helped us carry the win. It was a fantastic atmosphere. Look, if you haven't been to the Legacy Center to see this team, you're missing out on very, very good college basketball.
Rick, let me tell you something. You and I would agree. Isn't that what that Legacy Center was built for games like
Yes, and upcoming.
that? You want people, now, Rick, this is the buzz that's going to be around town. How many people you think after last night's game going to say they want to miss a game now? Regardless of who they're playing, Rick.
Yeah.
The excitement, Rick.
No, they shouldn't.
I mean,
They shouldn't.
We went to a game and we sat together.
No.
Rick, it's like no other game I've ever gone to and seen McNeese play. Seriously.
It's what college basketball should be.
But it's right
the
here in town.
energy.
You have no reason not to go.
Yeah,
That's the thing,
No,
Rick.
because look, if you're not a season ticket holder, you can get general admission tickets to the Legacy Center for like $10
$10.
online, and you get there a little early. You got your pick of the litter.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no bad seat in the house. Really, it really isn't.
I'm just saying, and everybody's going to contribute this to Will Wade. Okay, I get that. But, Rick, enjoy it while you can.
Well, give a lot of credit to that crew on the floor.
Yeah.
That's some very, very good basketball players.
They are.
Shahada Wells, I'm telling you, watch this young man. I said it 2 weeks ago. Y'all thought I was nuts.
No,
Even Will Wade sat there and eyebrow up.
No, he didn't.
He reminds me of Joe Dumars in so many ways.
Well,
and if you watched him close against UL Lafayette, I covered Joe Dumars, and there are a lot of people out there that remember Joe Dumars.
He's quick as a cat, Rick.
Just the way he moves with the basketball and how he handles it, his body style, how he glides and goes to the hole. He's off the backboard, the soft jumpers. I'm not saying he's Joe D. I'm just saying he's got characteristics that remind me of the Dumars style of play. That's all I'm saying.
He's
very, very good.
I mean, when I look at him, Rick, and I say to myself, how good can they get, Rick? How good can they get?
They have beaten some very, very good mid-majors.
You 11
started
games
at
in,
VCU.
Rick. How good can they get?
They almost beat Western Carolina. That road win at UAB just sticks out. That was a huge win.
It was big.
Huge win. UT Martin. Again, these are good mid-majors. And then UL Lafayette. UL Lafayette, I mean, their record is not indicative of how good that team will be. They are a very, very good defensive team and good offensive.
Well,
that was a solid win.
Southern Mississippi, Sun Belt champs.
Funny. I didn't ask him, but Jim Gazzola asked Shahada Wells and Kristen Shoemate after the win over UL Lafayette. Well, guys, you beat the regular season champ at Sun Belt. You beat the Sun Belt tournament champion, UL Lafayette. You must be Sun Belt champs. You beat the cream of the crop of the Sun Belt. Wells, it was funny. Shahada Wells looked at him and said, he's a very low-key guy. I guess we are.
Yeah.
That's how they look at it. Look,
that is true.
This win, all right, winning a game like that when you don't play your best first half of basketball. All the adversity that they had to go through with the scrum and the technicals, losing two starters.
Two starters,
Two
Rick.
starters go to the locker room.
Two starters. Well, what does that tell you, Rick, about what's on the bench?
You got 5 technical foul shots by UL. They hit 5 of 6. They build a 10-point lead. All that adversity. And then you got to regain your composure after that big scrum and all the delay and everything. Let me tell you, that is huge dividends in the bank for an experienced team, but still down the line when they go to Michigan and when they get ready for conference play. They'll draw on the lessons learned.
When you look at that, Rick, and you say to yourself, they kept it close even with 2 starters sitting on the bench.
They came back. They came back from a 12-point deficit.
That says, does Will Wade know what he's got on that bench, man? Those guys on that bench, Rick. Rick, he said some of the guys that come off the bench could easily be starters.
Oh, yeah,
he said that in his conference.
No doubt.
Could be starters.
You got DJ Richards.
That's my 3-point man.
I mean, that guy,
that's my 3-point man. He will light you up, Rick.
He's got ice running through his veins.
He is.
He could be a starter.
Yeah.
C.J. Felder, the Florida transfer, could very well work his way into the starting line. So you got a couple there that they're interchangeable. And, every play, you wanted to be a starter, right?
Yeah. Everybody wants their name called out, Rick. I know that. Come on now.
Basketball's a little different with football because you're going to get into the game.
The 6th man, that's an important guy. That's an important guy, man, the 6th man.
10-2.
Yeah.
Think about best start in 51 years.
Rick, you keep saying that, Rick. It cannot be, Rick. You keep saying that. They've had some good teams at McNeese. You keep saying in 51 years, I can't fathom that, Rick.
It's hard.
I can't.
But look, they've been able to do it because these dudes on the floor have bonded. They have a great chemistry. I'm a believer in chemistry.
And that was the question I asked Wade, too.
Yeah. They have bonded, and you see it on the floor. Shoemate has said it. All of them have said it. If Shoemate can't score, I'm going to go and get 15 rebounds. If Richards can't hit, he's gonna pass the ball to Wells so he can score.
Unselfishness. Rick, let me tell you something. When you find guys that believe and play like that, you've got a special group of guys, Rick.
They're pretty special.
When that guy said in the interview, the post-game interview,
they're pretty special.
He said, hey, if tonight's not my night, that's fine. I'm going to get as many rebounds as I can. I mean, Rick, that says a whole lot, Rick, for a team that's that young, that's never even played together before, Rick. This is what I find so unique about this team, Rick. You've got 10 guys that have never even played together, Rick.
Yeah, they haven't. And look,
says a lot about
Wade and his coaching staff. Give credit to that coaching staff, Hamilton and Chambers. Yeah. But Wade and that crew, they're punching the right button.
They are, Rick.
They really are. They are. He gets on them. He gives them grief. I'm talking about Wade and the staff. They give him grief. They give him heat. But then you watch Wade, like Cooper in the last game, started the game with like 2 straight turnovers.
Yeah.
They never turn the ball over.
Yeah.
What does Wade do? Clapping. Calm down, young man. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah. He knows when to get on him. He knows when to back it off.
And let me tell you something. Wade's talent level of players that he's coached has been pretty good too, Rick. So he knows how to deal with that too, Rick.
Yeah.
He knows.
Let me tell you something, Kevin. We're going to get maybe later on in the show, we'll talk about this rivalry and Bob Marlin and kind of throwing some subtle digs. You got to read between the lines. Bob Marlin is a good coach.
Yeah.
He's a prickly fella. He was throwing in some digs after the loss to McNeese. They go to Michigan December 29th.
Yeah.
You heard it here. I'm not saying you heard it here first. They could go up and beat a mid-range Michigan team on the road.
Michigan, Rick?
Big Ten Michigan. I'm telling you, they can beat them on the road. If they do all the right things, they can beat Juwan Howard and Michigan, and I wouldn't be shocked. More sound off from the sportsbook when we come back.
We're the attorneys Southwest Louisiana has known and trusted for decades. We fought relentlessly for our clients and won. We are proud to announce a new name based on our legacy of success. We are Lundy Law. The name may be new, but our team's commitment to pursuing justice for our clients has never been stronger. From personal injury and maritime cases to insurance claims, mass tort, and civil litigation, you can count on the experienced attorneys at Lundy Law.
Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Refreshing flavors. Crisp taste. Crafted with soul. Always refreshing. Always diferente.
His name was King. He had a horse along the countryside. I saw him ride. One day they found him.
All right, welcome back to the Sportsbook. At LaBerge, this is Sound Off. Merry Christmas, by the way.
To everybody. Enjoy it.
You didn't even wear the hat this show.
You know what, Rick? I totally forgot. I got all excited about
earlier in the week we had a dancing gator that just literally destroyed our little mini set. Started dancing all around, waving arms. I think I saw this coming out, man. I had like the Florida Gator chomp.
No, not at all. Not at all.
All right. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas.
And have a safe holiday.
Real fast. Holiday spirit and all. If you were in charge with giving Christmas gifts to Brian Kelly, Gary Goff, and Dennis Allen, what would you give them?
Well, that's a good question, Rick. God, you caught me off guard, Rick.
I love catching you off guard.
I would give them a defensive playbook from the NFL.
All of them. Hey, you must have read my notes.
No, I didn't.
If I was going to give him a gift,
okay?
all right. I'm going to give Brian Kelly. I'm going to give Brian Kelly.
Because you got guys that's going to play in the NFL. I know. Let's run an NFL defense.
I know you're digging against the defense. I'd give Kelly 5 new defensive starters. Yeah. I'd give Gary Goff 5 new defensive starters.
Okay.
Dennis Allen, I'd get him a good real estate broker because he's going to need it.
Yeah, he's done. He's gone, Rick.
We're just kidding. We're just kidding.
Rick, no, you're right. He's gone.
All right, look. We talked about earlier in the last segment, Bob Marlin, UL basketball coach. Just a couple little tidbits here. After the game, look, he didn't like the text called on his team. He thought the refs, he was complaining that the refs were unjustly unfair to his team, that they could have called the same text on McNeese players, kind of jawing, making gestures. He got
But,
nailed.
Rick,
It was a big.
Isn't that part
it was
of
a
the
big
game?
momentum shift.
Isn't that part of the game, Rick?
It is part of the. I
to a
didn't see
degree.
McNeese players doing anything, but Marlon did.
Isn't that
you know
part of
what?
the
What
game?
I thought was funny. Marlon did say that. Well, this is the best McNeese basketball atmosphere that they've had in decades. That's a little subtle dig there.
Wow.
And he was asked about the rivalry and re-engaging and reigniting this rivalry because UL beat McNeese for 8 straight.
They did.
They've been
They did.
dominating
They did.
McNeese Cowboys. And he said, well, look, it's always been a rivalry, and it will continue to be a good
It will
rivalry
be.
because of the history. But he
You're
said,
40 minutes away.
but he said, I've had success against McNeese. At UL, I beat them 8 straight. I lost this one, and I've beaten them a lot at Sam Houston. So again, dude, and I don't think he's doing that with the McNeese program. I think it's still Will Wade. I think they shook hands nicely,
Yeah.
but let me tell you, they're not going to be fishing buddies.
Yeah.
They ain't going out for a cold
It's-
beer after a game.
You know,
They're
Rick,
not.
when you
They're
look
not.
at that and everything, and
No.
every coach has that. It's something about different coaches. Like, you know, football, when a guy runs a score up, you don't forget that. Like, okay, remember that.
Yeah.
But with Will Wade, them, you're only defending your players. What's bad about that, Rick, on both coaches? Come on now. I'm gonna
Will-
defend my players 24/7 too.
Okay.
I'm gonna defend them.
Will Wade, when he blows a gasket, he blows a
He does.
gasket. And
Rick,
it's fun to watch.
Rick, you should have seen him sometimes at LSU when
It's
he blew a
fun to
gasket at
watch.
LSU. I mean, it was like, dude, calm
Keep
down.
blowing the gasket.
Calm down. But
Really,
yeah, he
the
gets
kid.
like that, though. You know what, though, Rick? That feeds the crowd,
Yeah,
though, Rick.
and the
He
players.
knows what he's doing,
And the
Rick.
all right, it's all
knows what he's doing.
kind of planned out.
It
All
is.
right,
He knows
talking
what
about
he's doing.
Christmas gifts, guys. We got a whale of one coming up Christmas night.
Yeah.
The 49ers,
It's a game.
number 1 in the NFC. The Baltimore Ravens, number 1 in the AFC. Those have
Rick.
risen to the cream of the crop in the 2 conferences, and they face. This could very well be a Super Bowl match.
No, seriously, Rick. I mean, the Baltimore
coming up
Ravens is no
Christmas
joke.
night, and that's a gift to us.
Baltimore Ravens is no joke, man.
I'm not watching
They are-
Home
they
Alone
are
again
real,
on
man.
Christmas night.
They are real.
That Monday night
And
game,
they're ready to play.
49ers at San Francisco, 49ers
That's
and
the only
Ravens.
advantage they got is in Frisco. That's the only advantage they have.
The 49ers, look, they're loaded on defense, and they are supremely loaded on offense.
The thing is, Rick, what causes the 49ers to be good? They're good on defense.
And a
Make
great
no
coach.
mistake.
Great coach.
But Rick, when you look at their offense, as a defensive team coming in, how do I find a defense to cover all these guys?
The weapons.
How do I do it, Rick?
The weapons.
That's the advantage they have right there, Rick.
MVP candidate in Christian McCaffrey.
Rick,
He's got like 20 touchdowns.
that's the advantage you
He
have
leads
right
the
now.
league in rushing.
You can't defend
No,
everybody.
you can't. Debo Samuel. I don't know what he is. He's just a supreme talent. Kittle.
How do you, Rick? You got people coming at you.
Brandon Ayuk.
How do you defend that many players as a defensive staff?
And Brock Purdy.
How do you do it?
Second-year quarterback.
Second year.
He just
Can
has
you
a
believe that?
way
But you know what,
of
Rick?
finding these guys.
Let me tell you this, Rick. Brock Purdy,
Unbelievable.
second-year starter, Rick. You know what makes this kid good? The pressure's not on him.
Well, yeah.
Look at the people that he's got around him,
No,
Rick.
no.
Dude, I just got to be average. I just got to be good
Well, he's
enough
not
to
average.
get the ball to
You're
him.
far from
But
average.
what I'm saying, Rick,
You're right.
when you got that kind of
No,
talent
you're
around
right
you, Rick,
about
you
that.
don't
No.
got to be great.
No.
You don't have to be
And
great,
it's,
Rick.
and it's Shanahan's system. But
Yeah.
I always say, no matter what he has around him, the quarterback still has to get the ball to those guys
I
on
agree.
time.
But Rick,
that's why he's good.
You throw a 10-yard curl to Debo Sanders, he goes 60 yards. Dude, I mean, come on, Rick.
Speaking of a couple seconds on these quarterbacks, Jake Browning, a number 2, winning games, has the Bengals ready, subbing for Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew,
Minshew.
subbing for Richardson at Indianapolis. They're tied for the South in the AFC, the Colts with Gardner Minshew.
I'm like,
and blows my mind, Joe Flacco. He's 80 years old.
You know
Joe
what, though?
Flacco.
What does that
He's
tell
winning
you?
in Cleveland.
When you see guys like that that's able to do good, what does that tell you, though, Rick?
System.
What does
Especially
that tell
in Cleveland.
You, Rick?
Joe Flacco.
What does that tell you, Rick?
He looked like he just got out of Delaware again. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Rick.
All right,
it's the system.
Final 2 minutes. All right, in short, Chip Kelly and Jim Harbaugh talking up this landscape of college football. Do away with all
Anybody from the SEC talking about this?
No.
Okay.
All
okay.
the Power 5
okay.
conferences go. Chip Kelly's,
Yeah.
he laid it out very nice.
I bet he did.
Super League with Power 5.
Yeah.
Put them all in one Super League. Group of 5. Put them all in one
Yeah.
Super League. schedule against each other. All those in that Super League.
Cross-scheduling, all of
we'll
that.
have our own commissioner. Power 5 can have their own commissioner. Break away from the NCAA. TV networks will love it because they're all playing each other. You like it or not? Now, he's only talking football now. All the other sports, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, all stay in the leagues, but not football.
No.
Power 5 wants to do that, Kevin.
Not going to
work. They
work.
want to break away.
It's not going to work.
Well, you don't think it's going to work.
Not going to work.
It could very well happen.
No. I don't see an upside to it, Rick. Besides television time. I mean, I don't see an upside to it, Rick. What's the upside to it?
Well, you've got all this cross-section of games.
Yeah.
All right? You've got your own commissioner to kick the NCAA out. They can control NIL and transfer.
Yeah.
They control their own destiny of the game.
I can't see that happening.
I don't like the idea of doing away with the SEC that's been around for 200 years.
That's
the Big
my sole
10, the Big
reason,
12.
Rick. That's my sole reason, Rick.
Okay, I see your point.
That's my sole reason.
But if the Power 5 intends to break away,
that's to benefit them,
this
Rick.
might be the model.
It's to benefit them. No.
It might be the model.
The SEC will be the legend. We'll always stand.
I say let this play out.
Always
let's
stand.
see where the 12-team playoff system
and how
that's going to work.
For next
because
year.
you're going to have group of 5 teams.
You will.
All right?
You will.
We're out of time. Talk management and everything. Hey, there's our final show before the holiday. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Be safe, guys. Have a Merry Christmas.
Have a great Christmas.
Always.
Be safe out there. We'll see you again right here.
Great show.
At the Sportsbook Bears.
If it's a story worth telling, it starts with Getaways specializing in me time. Handcrafted flavors, eager to please. Escapes to soak the day away. And rounds on a course designed by Tom Fazio. Start a story all your own at Le Berge Lake Charles.
J&J has protected Louisiana homes and businesses for over 60 years.
Call him today, make the pests go away. J&J Exterminating. Yeah.
Topo Chico Hard Seltzer. Mexican-inspired flavors. Crisp taste. Crafted with soul. Always refreshing. Always diferente.